Welcome back to Starring Jessica with Melissa and Amanda, which we neglected to say last time.
Sorry about that for those of you that are new.
Today, we are drinking Starbucks.
Yes.
I have tea, unsweetened tea, Passion Tango tea.
And this is the Salted Honey Cold Foam Nitro Cold Brew. Wow.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. I've never tried it before.
When I was ordering it, I had my mask on, and I was like trying to say the words of like, it's not coming out. Anyway.
They understood.
Today we're going to be discussing Playing with Fire. Lots to say about this one.
Oh, so much to say.
But should we start with our book haul?
Yeah, I think we finally got books in.
Yes,
this
we
time.
did. We got a lot of books in, and some of them aren't even open.
Yeah, so want to talk about the ones that... Because
Sure.
where did you... Was this the one where you put in the
I
picks?
picked these out.
You picked these
Yes,
out. Okay.
Which one of them I already had, but whatever. You can read it.
Thank you. We've been scouring
Yes,
eBay. Like, it's nobody's business.
Trying to fill in the gaps.
Which this woman, I think, is a good person to go with if we
Yes.
want to get specific ones.
I would just like to say she was extremely nice. She's from Minnesota. She told me, I'm not a seller. I'm just trying to get rid of stuff. I was like, oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So we have a podcast. Maybe
Yes.
we'll, like, tag her in this.
Oh,
Can we
yes.
do something like that?
Probably.
And then maybe she can, we can talk about how awesome she is.
Yes, she is awesome.
So.
So the first one is Too Good to Be True, which there's a brunette on the cover.
Is that Lila?
Suzanne.
Oh,
Their
Suzanne.
cousin.
Oh, yeah.
Glamorous Suzanne.
From New York City, was it?
Yes.
I was reading the back of these the other day.
A devil in disguise. So, there's that one. Then we have Caught in the Middle, Sandra and Manuel.
Oh, wow.
Manuel Lopez.
These are all, like, new characters.
Yes,
We will
new
have
characters.
more guys on the
Exactly.
Hodometer.
I feel like this guy could be a Hanson brother.
I think so,
Maybe.
too,
He
actually.
looks like one.
Maybe it's their dad modeled for them.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I mean,
We'll
we were
see.
talking about that yesterday. Like, who are the models behind these? Oh, yeah, this is your favorite one.
Lost at Sea. Yes.
Is that Jess?
I hate when I get shipwrecked on the science trip.
I know. And still
I
look
think
like
this
an
is
adorable
Elizabeth.
John Rat.
Well, maybe it is Jessica.
Because it's talking about...
Oh, the star clears. Jessica's life preserver turns up. Oh, yes, maybe. Oh, Jessica's stranded with Winston.
Oh, that is
That-
going to be fun.
That fatal night. Ken Matthews. Yes, something happens with Ken. The new Jessica. Alan thought this cover was so funny.
Oh my
I mean, it
gosh.
is kind of ridiculous.
That is
Her
awesome.
feathered black hair.
We should have our hair feathered.
Yes.
Even though we don't have black hair.
2-boy weekend. So that should be interesting. Yes.
I love the title of that one, too.
I know.
It's like...
So good. So yes, that was one stack. And then we have one that's not even open. I think this is the first one we ordered when we started this, and they just now got here. So
I don't even really remember
these
what
have
we
been
ordered.
in the mail for a long time.
So...
So we're gonna open them. Thank you to this nice eBay seller who wrapped these in 2 envelopes and newspaper.
And, like, it's like Christmas.
I know, it
Especially
is.
since I don't remember what we ordered.
I don't either.
Oh, there are 2 books in here.
There's 2 books in this one too.
Oh,
Sorry, this is probably really loud against the microphone, but whatever.
so excited.
Paper.
I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Ah!
Sweet Valley Twins. I had this when I was a kid.
You did?
Standing out. Yes.
Oh my
I
gosh.
remember this cover.
I may put that in my classroom for my lower readers.
Can a girl really be one of the guys? That is the question.
Hell yes. I almost dropped the F-bomb, but I'm going to
Obviously.
save that for a special occasion.
And, Sweet Valley Junior High. I've never read any of
I
these.
never read any of those 2. We need to find a unicorn club.
Whatever. That's what this one is called.
This is so 90s.
I know my mom, my real mom, cares about me. So what if she never writes or calls? She's probably just really busy. 2000, yeah, that's when the...
I just remember, like, welcome to Loserville, population 1. That's you.
Wow, never knew that. Yeah. Amazing.
The stuff that we did in high school. All right, so the ones that I opened were a Super Edition Malibu Summer, which is one of the very rare Super Editions that you didn't have.
Yes.
So we were excited. I think this is the reason that we got this one, didn't it?
Yep, it was. Oh, I remember this one.
And then the Treasure of Death Valley. SVH Survival. Is this like Survivor? Pre-Survivor?
Oh gosh.
Now a hit TV series. Hit.
I don't remember it being a hit.
I
But
don't remember it either being
I mean,
a
it was
hit.
on for 3 seasons, so.
Yeah, which we are slowly making our way through. This is in
Yeah.
pristine
Really good condition.
Yay.
Holy.
That's one of our things that we
Some-
found that we have in common.
Someone like Alan must have read that book. Like this.
Well, the Power
Not
Play.
opening it.
Yeah, the Power Play one.
Yeah, that
That-
was in good condition
This,
too.
like, I just finished reading it for the next episode, so I can give it back to her. And it was like, I was like, oh my gosh, they did not even, that spine.
Yeah, it
flawless.
isn't. It is.
It's like, did
It
they
is nice to
even-
get one in good condition. What does the price tag say?
$275, and then over in US $275, in Canada $325. Wow, that has not changed.
No, it hasn't, and the dollar isn't exactly that
Strong.
much of a difference. I don't think right now. But we're not allowed to go there, so at least at this moment in time.
We're trying very hard not to be overly political because we are
Yeah.
here to be your relief
Yes.
from all that.
We get it. We get why. It's all good. I mean, we're right next door to Canada. I mean, honestly, normally we can go whenever we want.
know.
So.
And yeah, once they open it up, my gosh, the shopping that we can do.
Yes. Oh, I miss Montreal.
We need to go to Knit City, Montreal.
I know. I agree. Isn't it in April next year?
Yes, I was actually hoping
We
like
should do that for my birthday.
yeah, since we won't be able to do.
We'll see. We'll see what life brings. Anyway, playing with fire.
Do you want to read the back of it?
We're playing with fire.
We are.
Too hot to handle. That's how I feel in this weather. It's very hot out.
Oh yeah, we may be complaining about it. It's really
I
humid.
look sweaty. Watch out, Sweet Valley High. Once again, Jessica Wakefield has gotten her way. Fresh from her greatest social triumph, Jessica proceeds to sink her hooks into rich, handsome Bruce Patman, the most eligible, sought-after guy at SVH. Or has Bruce gotten his hooks into Jessica? Elizabeth, Jessica's twin, notices a big change in her sister. Suddenly, Jessica's following Bruce everywhere and dropping everything just to spend time with him. Elizabeth doesn't trust Bruce one bit. He's arrogant, demanding, and way too fast, if you know what I mean.
We're gonna be talking about that.
Jessica can usually hold her own with any guy, but this time Elizabeth's afraid her sister may be going too far. Ellipses. Yes. So, oh man.
So much.
A lot
I
to say with this one.
I still kept like 2 of my Post-it notes.
I took notes on my phone.
Wow.
So, yes.
Well done. And of course, as always, I have my color coordinated.
They're not very good notes.
I know you always like looking at.
Yes.
So that may
I
be the
do.
first
I'm always
F-bomb
like,
that we're going to be dropping. So
Okay.
there are 3 plot lines in this. And we have the Jessica and Bruce.
Yes, Jessica and Bruce, the droids.
And then Winston and Robin. So,
Yeah.
which introduces because that leads into
The
book
next
4.
book.
So we've noticed a trend, or at least I've noticed a trend since this is my first time. Like, they will give you a taste of kind of what's maybe happening next. So I already had kind of an idea by the last few pages of this book to know what's going into book 5, even without reading their teaser.
Yes.
So, and they didn't give me a teaser for book 4, so I really had no idea.
Ah.
But one of the things I wrote is leads into next book, and
Yes, it does.
sure enough, I was right. Of course I was.
Yes, what is the question at the end? I believe it says something back here. Can Liz outwit her scheming twin and make Robin a Pi Beta? Find out in Sweet Valley High number 4, Power Play.
Yep. So
So,
we'll
yeah.
get into that
Mm-hmm.
to tease you for the last of this one.
Where should we start with this one?
Well, let's just start with the main
Jessica
story.
and Bruce. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
Jessica, and we've known since the beginning, she has adored Bruce.
Yes.
Liz doesn't understand why, because she thinks he's an arrogant prick, which
Yeah.
he is.
Yes, Bruce is not good.
And, it makes you wonder, as an adult looking back, why? But I try to put
Yeah.
myself as a teenager, and
Yeah.
it's just like,
It's a teenager. That's something a teenager would do. That's something I mean, sadly, I think a lot of teenage girls do, is they think, I have to be a certain way to get this guy. Like, that's, I mean, I remember feeling that way as a teenager, for sure.
And giving into, like, the pressure to be
Yeah.
a certain type of girl, because otherwise, how are you going to be liked or loved? And that,
There's
it's
a lot
not
of
just,
pressure.
it's not just even as a teenager. Like,
Yeah.
you're thinking, I mean, even in my 20s, I was thinking, like, oh, I have to be this type of, like, this certain type of person. And it doesn't matter if you have to be, like, the Comic-Con girl. That's one story. Or if you have to be, you know, perfect all the time. And I think that's where a lot of my pressure had come from, is, like, you have to be flawless. Like, you cannot show any sort of imperfection, because then they're going to dump you.
Which is interesting, because Jessica already is perfect, you know, physically.
Right.
So, according to these books. And for Bruce, she decides to completely change everything. She decides she's not going to beat him at tennis, which made me really mad, because, I mean, last night I kicked my husband's ass at some basketball. So,
She texted me about
sorry,
it.
Alan.
Yeah. What, 5 out of 6 games of Pig?
Yes, I won them all.
You guys should play Aardvark like my brother and I did.
We should. That would be good.
You just have to keep track
That
of
would
how many
take-
A's you were on. Like when I did it with
Yes.
Joe, which, by the way, hi, Joe. You probably won't ever see this, you know.
Well,
But
I'm gonna say hi to him anyway.
yeah. There was one time that we played each other at, like, Horse and Pig, but then we decided to kick it up a notch and play Aardvark.
Nice.
And it's, like, and I kicked his ass, too. And he's 6'7", so, of course, he's really good at the shots, like, underneath the basket. But I was getting, like, 3-point shots, and he can't do that, because he never had to. He was always
Yes.
the center, right? Yeah, center.
Forward, center.
Because he would always be the one under the basket. Because,
Yep.
you know, when you're over 6 feet tall and in 7th grade.
Yes, you're the automatic center. So, yes, Jessica, why? You should have.
Because he was throwing a fit. Like, he
Yeah.
was so mad and so grumpy.
He
and
was
I'm like,
very angry about losing.
yeah, because
It's
he
like-
doesn't lose.
So Jessica loses her tennis match on purpose, when she could have whooped his ass.
I know.
Which is very annoying.
Which is what he needs. He needs someone to, like,
he needs to lose.
Yeah.
And he's never had to lose. Oh my gosh, he's like Donald Trump.
we said we weren't going to get political. But yes.
That's all I have to say about that. Anyway, Bruce's family, they've got all the money. Bruce has never had to work for anything up until this point. We
and it's
see
the
this side
old
of
money,
him.
too.
Yes.
Like, weren't they? They're
It
the
is.
old money
Old
family.
money.
So it's like, he got this probably from his parents and
Like the
grandparents.
Kennedys. Yeah.
I'm excited to read then that story about the Patmans, of just seeing really how old their money is, because it probably will make, well, it's systematic something, right? Systematic, yeah. Like, that's just how, if you're used to it.
Yes. So, we'll see what happens with Bruce. But then Jessica also changes her
How she dresses. Like, she only shops.
she changes everything.
She
Like,
basically does turn into a Kennedy.
Jessica used to be, yeah, pretty much. She basically used to be all about herself. Now she's all about doing everything for Bruce.
running his errands.
Yeah. Ugh. No. No. And she's always making excuses for him. She is not Jessica.
No.
In this book.
No, she isn't. And what
Except
else?
for the mean things she does.
Right. She doesn't keep.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't stop with that. The very first thing is, so it ends at the end of book 2, which is where Jessica is queen with someone that she doesn't want.
Yes.
And so this starts up right during that dance where Bruce comes up to her and wants to dance with her, and then they, like, steal the show.
Of course.
And
And
then
the
they-
dancing scene is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. They're like he's like lifting Jessica above his head.
It's like Dirty
And-
Dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually reminded me of Dirty Dancing.
Oh, here it is. Bruce and Jessica shifted into more complex moves. With the strength of his well-muscled body, Bruce lifted Jessica high in the air and spun her around his broad shoulders and across his body. I mean, they sound like Olympic ice dancers. They were pure grace.
Dan would love that, though.
I know, he would.
Hi, Dan!
Electricity in motion, and as more and more couples grew aware of what they were up against, they dropped out of the contest to stand aside and admire this masterful performance.
Also, like, Grease.
Yeah, I know. This has big Grease vibes
Well,
in
when
here.
did the movie Grease come out?
Very close to this book. It was
So,
1979.
Yeah, so that
So-
probably was maybe what inspired
Yeah,
that.
I thought
for
the
that
same
scene.
thing for this dance because I mean Grease still would have been popular then.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Grease is still popular.
Yes.
I'm waiting for them to drop
Who
a
doesn't
Grease
love
reference.
Grease.
Oh my god.
I love Grease.
I remember in college, Chrissy and I did like the Summer 11. Like that whole entire we loved our karaoke.
Yeah. Oh.
We
I
stole
can see it.
the show at Flanagan's. So, hey Chrissy,
Yes.
if you're watching.
Yes,
Our
we-
air fiddle was awesome,
Oh
legendary.
my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. Who air guitars?
I'm
Anymore.
much better at the air saxophone. Alan's favorite,
Oh my gosh.
which would be very fitting with many 80s songs. Yes, so we have the dance. Very much like Grease / Dirty Dancing.
And then they go, Bruce hosts an after party, right? That was that night
Yes.
still, too. And so one of the biggest things is they go into, was it his pool or was there a lake? I cannot remember.
There was a pool and a lake, so there were two parties, so I'm trying to remember which one was which. I think they were in a pool the first time.
Okay. And
Because
so,
Elizabeth interrupts them.
no, it was, she interrupts
that
them
the
after.
second time?
No, she interrupts them after they leave the pool.
Okay.
So they jump into the pool. Hold on. Like, I wrote, whoa, fast moves from Bruce. Scandalous. Like,
Oh yeah, I think I
Holy
marked
hell.
that page too. Yeah. Yes. Bruce is like taking off her top.
yes. So, oh, Bruce, Jessica said, and sighed when their lips parted temporarily. He pulled her closer, this time for a long, lingering kiss, unlike she'd ever experienced before. As they continued to embrace, Bruce slowly dropped his arms from her neck to her back, too caught up in the rapture of the moment.
Rapture.
Jessica had no idea what he was doing until she felt the cool water swirl under her bikini top and hit her breasts. Like,
There's a lot of breasts in here.
there is. Like, whoa. Fast.
Yeah.
That's like, honey,
Hi, we've been hanging out for half an hour.
I know.
Yeah. A little too much.
Red flag.
Jessica
red
was
flag.
upset. She said he was moving too fast.
Which, duh. But she doesn't want to lose him. And again, like, that is very much, I feel, a teenager
Oh,
thing. Like,
yeah.
where you do some things or accept, like, going a little bit too fast for your comfort so you can kind of hold on to the guy. And then, but he would also play it whenever she would back away. He would, like, he was kind of gaslighting her.
Yeah, it was
With,
not.
actually, yeah, gaslighting by the end.
What's
oh my
the
gosh.
matter, Jess? Don't you like to play big girl games, or are you just a tease? Oh, it makes me want to puke. So horrible.
He is total slime ball. Total slime ball.
I
in
actually
this.
think Jessica did a good job maneuvering this whole situation to be in her corner.
Yes.
I will say that.
Yeah, she actually,
So.
she held her own.
Mm-hmm. She did.
At the beginning, and I believe at the end, but it's the middle that
Yeah.
she obviously lost herself.
The first time it happened, she made it work in her advantage. She was just kind of like, oh, let's go and, go somewhere else or whatever.
And so they do, and he takes her to like a wooded area, and that's when Liz sees them walk off together, and that's when Liz follows and interrupts their makeout session.
Yes.
And she's saying like, hey Jess, let's go home, because she knows Bruce's reputation. And Jess tells her no. And what I laughed
She
about,
totally blows her off.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
that
wait.
was like violating the girl code big time.
uh-huh.
I mean, if my sister did that to me, I would be so mad. I'd be pissed.
Mhm.
I'd be like, no. You don't blow off your sister for a guy.
No. Yeah, like, you don't blow off your friends for a guy.
No.
Your sister, and then your twin.
Your twin sister. That's even worse.
But Liz, of course, in true Liz fashion, covers for Jess.
Of
Like, she says she
course.
was forced to. Honey, no one's forcing you.
No.
You could have just told your mom, she's still at the party. Making
Yeah.
out. with
Yeah,
Bruce.
the Wakefield parents are getting increasingly I don't know what the word is.
Clueless?
Yeah, clueless. Like they don't know what's going on.
No. But then I'm like, as a teenage girl, you hide a lot from your parents. Like, I'm pretty sure my mom, when she watches this, sorry, Mom, you probably didn't know everything. And I think I finally, told my mom some things. Like, I remember for the longest time, I didn't want her to know that I had my first boyfriend in 4th grade, which you've met. It's Robert.
Oh.
And, that 3-week...
Good choice. He's nice.
He is really nice. We held hands.
Oh. I didn't really do anything that scandalous.
He wrote me the, will you be my girlfriend, check yes or no.
That's adorable.
And Adam Brooks sent it over to us. Oh, it was so adorable.
That's really cute.
4th grade love.
Okay, what are we moving on to?
Let me see. She runs his errands. She doesn't beat him at tennis. Lets him win. He has a fit.
Yeah.
He keeps her from her friends. That was the other thing.
Yes.
And then he tries to use it against her later on. He
does use it against
her. He tells her to quit the cheerleading squad, and she does. He's...
Mm-hmm. And then Kara Walker is like...
She dated him.
So she tells Liz it's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Liz says, well, do you just want Bruce back? And Kara says, no, I'm warning you. Like this is bad news. So Kara seems to be friends with Elizabeth and Jessica. So she's kind of a good mediator between the two.
Again, what the hell?
Yeah, it is weird. Well, as long as we're still recording. Yes.
Yeah.
I had to type in our password.
Yeah. Oh, well. It happens.
It happens.
So we'll figure it out one of these days. So
I'll
get
just
better.
Get better at the technology. Anyway.
And then of course, Bruce is starting to ghost Jessica. And this was the other thing that I kept in here. I'm like, I can relate to Jess a little bit. Likes a guy, but he's ghosting her because I am ghost queen. It's like I date frickin' Casper. But he's nice, and he would never truly ghost me.
Oh.
But
so much to say.
I know. There are so many things. And so Liz is hearing things just from people around school, and it just doesn't sit right with her. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't know exactly what Bruce is doing except for ghosting her sister. They will make plans, and then he says, oh, sorry, something came up. It was always his grandma.
Something happened with my grandma.
She's probably, running marathons, in all honesty.
Probably.
She's probably fitter than Bruce. She's probably the only one that can
Yeah, because his grandma is probably not very old. She's probably, she could be in her 50s.
Yeah.
So.
Easily.
Yes, but it was always his grandma.
My grandma's sick.
Which was a lie.
Mm-hmm. And he ended up, doing a race.
Yes.
And
which that also had Grease vibes.
Yes.
A road rally race.
Yeah.
That's so Grease.
Mm-hmm.
So, that made me think of Grease. There's a lot of Grease-esque things in
this
book, for
Inspired by Grease for this one.
Definitely.
And, of course, kind of, what Sandy did. Sandy did change her appearance by the end.
Yeah. So ridiculous. But... on the other side, Danny also tried to change for Sandy. So,
yeah,
he
ran track.
Yeah, he did. He lettered, and he was trying to do it for Sandy. So
They did it for each other.
They did it for each other. So
and then
the fact that they both do it makes it better.
And she also, I think, it was kind of fun embracing your bad side, wearing the leather pants.
Yeah. So she was always going to be Sandy at heart. She just changed her clothes.
And I know this is way off topic, but I'm thinking of leather pants. And I just watched 10 Things I Hate About You, and Heath Ledger in those leather pants when he goes to that club. It's like...
I love that movie.
I
love Heath Ledger.
It's just... And it's on Disney+. So when in doubt, Netflix hasn't been working for me the past few days, but Disney+ has. So, stupid Netflix. Anyway, basically, Jess is Bruce's bitch.
Yes. Pretty much. It's not good. It's a horrible situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just shocking because it's just not. And then she eventually has her own
epiphany
moment of clarity.
Thanks to Liz and Todd. Liz and Todd, they didn't want to outright tell her because they know Jess would just be like, you guys are lying. You're jealous. All this stuff. But then they know that when Bruce gets a page? Like, how did he
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Wasn't it a pager?
Oh, I can't remember.
Of something?
It
It's
might
close
have
to
been
the
a
end.
phone call.
Okay. But he gets, like, some sort of message.
Something happened about his
and
grandma.
then about his
again.
grandma, and then he says, you know, we have to go, and then Liz and Todd say, we'll take you home, Jess.
Yes,
You know, we'll
and-
help you out, Bruce.
Good job, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Todd just is cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
He drives around for half an hour. Jessica's in the backseat whining, and then they
she's like,
crash.
just take me home, just take me home.
They crash Guido's again. And then there's Bruce with the redhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I love that she's a redhead.
I know.
It's so funny. Yeah, so he's there with her, and they're talking about the car races again.
Yeah.
And Jessica's just like, I don't think so.
Yeah. And
And-
she dumps Pop.
Yeah, doesn't she throw like pizza sauce at him too?
Something
She
like
throws
that.
a breadstick at him, I think, and then pushes him back into something, some tray that gets all over him, and then dumps water
It's
all over him too.
so
It's glorious.
glorious.
He deserves it.
Like, it was, and then doesn't she ask Winston,
Yes.
who is in love with her, like, come on, Winston, let's
Yes,
go.
She takes Winston and
Like,
they leave.
yeah. It was a very satisfying ending.
Yes, it was very good. And Winston was like, okay.
Who would say no?
Speaking of Winston,
Yeah, that was the other storyline.
that was another storyline with Robin.
Because Winston obviously loves Jess. He is devoted, hopelessly devoted to Jess.
Yes, exactly.
And then Robin is a girl. Oh my God, stuff that you wouldn't say anymore. She's an overweight girl, and she is Jess's new friend, or so she thinks, and she is constantly trying to hang out with Jess. And she's super sweet, super nice, and Jess...
Robin's so unassuming.
Mm-hmm.
Robin breaks my heart. Oh, she's never gonna be Jessica, which is fine.
But
You don't
she
ha-
wants
but she
to
wants
be.
to be, which
She-
is the problem.
And she's
Someday
not...
when Robin gets into her 30s, she will realize she doesn't have to be Jessica Wakefield. Hopefully sooner than that.
Wow.
I have a lot of... Okay, so Robin. They call Robin Miss Tubby. Which, that's what I call one of my cats. I call her Tubby,
Piper?
but she's large.
Aw, large and in
She's-
charge.
She is like this muffin of soft chub. And she's just so comforting and sweet.
She is. And you always know where to find her whenever I cat sit
Yes.
for them. It's like on their bed.
But she's a cat, not
She
a
is.
human.
Exactly.
You know?
You can...
So they're referring to Robin as Miss Tubby. What else did they say? Oh, one thing I wanted to say about Bruce. This kind of ties into Robin. He calls the cheerleaders a bunch of chicks with fat thighs and short skirts. So that's something that Bruce said. He also calls Jessica my pretty little princess. Just like, so, no.
Do we want to put that on our Instagram? That should be
Yes.
our... Because
Yeah,
there were
the chicks with the fat thighs. We'll
Yeah.
put that on Instagram,
Mhm.
which you should follow us at Starring Jessica. Anyway, what else did they say about Robin? Oh, page 92. I have some page numbers marked here.
And Jess, to get Winston off of her back, kind of pawns
Yes.
Robin on Winston. And so, because Winston's a nice guy, he's nice to Robin, but he's not interested.
He's not. And Winston says something in the book that I think is so out of character for Winston. Like, if I was an editor, I would be like, no, Winston would not say that.
Is that when they went to that?
When he says, I'm uncomfortable around people who eat all the time.
Yeah.
Winston would never say that. That's out of character.
Then Winston and I would not get along. Because I love to eat.
So that's just not a Winston thing to say.
No.
And, you know, he is a teenage boy. So,
And maybe,
Maybe
that
give-
was his hurt over, like, Jessica
yeah.
ditching
Exactly.
him, as always.
So Jessica's giving Robin a makeover. So Jessica pulled Robin's hair back from her face. Despite herself, she admired the girl's clear complexion and fine bone structure. If Robin lost some weight, she might not be bad looking, Jessica realized. For a moment, she groped for a tactful way of expressing her observation to Robin, then decided to let it pass. So I guess I'll give Jessica some credit for not saying that horrible thing, but it's just such a... I don't know.
Like,
It's just,
you have such a pretty face.
you have such a pretty face. You would be pretty if
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I
So
hate
yeah,
that.
they really drag Robin in here. Just, I mean, I guess people are like that,
Yeah.
but it's just so
And
uncomfortable
it's so
to read.
superficial.
It is
whereas,
really superficial.
And I think I don't see that.
That doesn't
as
come from
much.
Liz.
No. And I don't see that as much these days either.
No.
Which I think means like the body shaming stuff is making some sort of progress.
That's what I kept thinking about when I was reading. I was like, you wouldn't, if this was like now, it wouldn't even be that way.
Right. And Robin really wants to be in Pi Beta,
Yes,
which
she
is
wants
what
to be in the sorority.
leads into the next book. And they even made references, I think, to this, like she's not their type.
Yes.
Or our friend Molly would understand she's not their vision, right?
Yeah.
Like Molly would totally get that one. Doesn't fit their vision for their sorority.
Yeah, so Robin is like a nice, unassuming person who just gets dragged.
She just wants to
here.
be part of the popular
They call her
group.
Butterball several times, which is just like, it was almost shocking to read it. I just couldn't believe it.
Oh, I
Like,
can't wait until you read the next.
and then of
one.
course I was like reading this out loud to Alan, and he was like, "Why are they saying that? Just to be mean?" And I'm like, "Yeah, pretty
I
much."
think so.
Oh, this has nothing to do with Robin. Well, it kind of does. Why would Mr. Collins ask Jessica to babysit?
Why not ask Liz?
Yes. That was weird to me.
But Jessica is fun. Like,
Yeah,
if I
that's
was going to
true.
have a babysitter, like, I always loved the babysitters that kind of let us, like, eat
That's
what we
true.
wanted.
But my first thought was, why have Jessica do it? Mm-hmm. It seemed like it would have been
Well,
Liz,
maybe
but-
they asked Liz, and Liz was out with Todd, because
Yeah,
Liz
maybe.
actually has a social life in this book,
she does.
where
Liz,
Jessica doesn't.
things are going well with Todd.
And then there was the cheating thing. So the other
Yes.
small story is there's
Cheating.
the chemistry test, I believe. And Jessica's not that good with chemistry. And she fails one.
Yes.
And Bruce is like, why don't you just do what I did and
Yes, he encourages her to cheat.
like to steal the
to
test.
steal a test.
Which he knows exactly where the teacher keeps theirs. Which, God bless technology. Like, all my stuff is on one of many drives that I can easily change in an instant.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, I don't remember teachers having tests that were all the same. Like, that never crossed my mind to do that. I
Although,
guess.
as a teacher, sometimes you just don't want to reinvent the wheel. But
Oh,
every
I
year,
totally get
every
that.
year I do change a little something. So, but again, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think my students are even too lazy to even to even do that.
To even
Because you'd have to
try.
remember. You'd have to memorize
Yeah.
things. That takes a lot of brain power.
Yeah, so they're cheating on the test. And Emily? Yes,
Who
Emily.
is in the droids.
Jessica sits next to Emily, who is a member of the droids, who in this book are trying to get famous. So
They
there's
get an
this
agent.
actually considerable plot line with this.
Yeah, it is.
So they're trying to get an agent, or they have an agent.
Yeah, they got one right that from the dance, right? He was
Yes,
at the
he was at the
dance and he
dance.
saw them play. His name is Tony Canover. And he gets them a couple of smaller gigs, and so they're practicing all the time. They have
Yep.
zero time for anything else. So this normally A student in chemistry.
Yes, Emily has a rough time passing her chemistry test. And so Jessica very slyly suggests that
Robin steal the test.
Robin steals the test.
And then she gives it to Emily, so then she can still cheat off of Emily. It's actually kind of a sneaky.
it's a very brilliant plan on Jessica's part, using Robin as her pawn and Emily.
So it's just like, I didn't steal it.
So it's actually the perfect setup for Jessica to not have to cheat or do any wrongdoing whatsoever, except for set this up. So
But the teacher, he's the main
Mr.
one.
Russo.
Mr. Russo. He is like, he decides, as many teachers do, the last minute to change up the test a
It
little
was
bit.
too similar to last year's.
And so he changes it all up, and Emily does cheat, but because she's going based off of the wrong test, it's probably Scantron, where you just fill in the bubbles, and she probably memorized the order.
Yep.
And It didn't work out, and of course Jessica did just enough. Like, she doesn't cheat completely, she just does enough of the same answers.
So it looks like, so she passes, but it doesn't look like she...
Right. And a normal
considerably improved her
situation,
grade.
except
Yes.
for this one where they both flat out fail again. And because Emily really respects the teacher and the class, she confesses.
After Liz tells her it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Liz is like the Jiminy Cricket of the whole entire thing. So,
she is.
So then Jessica finally has to come clean with that too when she goes up to Emily, and Emily says, I told him, like, he's letting me retake the test, he's giving me special assignments to bring up my grade.
Yep, so Jessica fails, and then she cries about it to Bruce, and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I know.
So Jessica's grades are being destroyed in addition to her social life and her complete identity, basically, by Bruce.
And then with the droids, so they get that agent, and then they find out that the agent isn't talking to one of the band members, Guy, who is kind of like their spokesperson. Like, he's performer / manager.
Yes.
They're going through the lead singer, Dana. And who is, we've mentioned her before. Was she the one with
Dana's
that awesome
very
outfit?
cool and
Yeah.
charismatic and fashionable and interesting.
And
So-
the lead singer. So,
Yeah.
she kind of has to have
Yeah,
that.
she's the front woman.
And so Tony keeps contact with her. Whereas, like, when I heard that the very first time, I'm like, Tony's got the hots for Dana. Which, yep.
That's exactly what happened. So he wasn't really trying to make them famous.
He just wanted
He
Dana.
was a manager. He got fired.
Because he sucked.
So that wasn't a total lie. But he was just trying to get in Dana's pants.
And so...
Very sleazy.
And they
She's
also...
in high school.
Yeah, and they also realized, like, that quick of fame isn't helpful because it was stressing everyone out. They are still in high school. They still have to...
So they decided they'd rather play at Sweet Valley than get famous.
Yeah. So
That
go
was a good
Droids.
storyline.
Yeah. Actually, these had really good
This
storylines.
this one was a lot better than the second book.
Yeah.
I think. Like the
There was more to
writing
it.
wise, there was a lot, and it's it's longer, but it's not super long. It's 150 pages,
Yeah.
so there's a lot. The writing was better, I guess. So
So I think, was it still Kate Williams writing it?
yes, I believe so.
She's starting to hit her stride by book 3.
yes, Kate
which-
William.
Kate Williams.
Yes. So she's, and with the second book, sometimes it's like a rush job from the publisher. Like they want it in, I want this in a month or whatever. So who knows?
And I
What the
think a lot of
situation
these
was.
serials were, like, they really do have to.
Yeah, they come out fast.
Like, I remember getting so excited at the start of, like, every single month there would be a new Babysitter's Club book.
Let's see when the publication date of this
Which,
one
by the
is.
way, like, the 80s had some of the best serial.
Let's see, December 1983. So yeah, the second book was definitely written quickly because, as we know, the first one was also 1983. So these are coming out quickly.
And they will keep coming out more quickly. There were multiple ghostwriters, though, right?
Yes, there were.
So I think by the time they probably got to be popular, I mean, we're only book 3. They don't know how well this is going to go once they probably start making some extra cash. And
I'm looking at my notes. Is Alice delusional? Bruce bribes the police with $20. I mean, would that really bribe $20? Even in the 80s, would $20 bribe a cop?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. That's just
Like,
not enough.
it'd have to be
If
way
Bruce
more.
was so rich, he could have given him a 50 at least.
At least. And with that old money, he probably could have dropped
Yeah.
$500.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, that was... That would not
Yeah,
have.
Bruce is bribing.
Like, what is worth potentially losing your job over is always the thing. I would say it'd have to
not
be at
$20.
least... So if anyone wants to pay me off, be at least, like, $10 million. Because you'd have
Fair
to pay
enough.
for the legal fees. You'd have to pay for me not to be able to have a job for the rest of my life.
I love that you've worked
worth
this
it.
out.
Yeah. $10 million is the lowest amount for the easiest
If
thing.
anyone's interested, for sale, 10 million.
Minimum.
Cassette tapes. Those are in here.
Yes.
Cassettes. Now, my last car I had before the one I have now had a cassette player in it. So, yeah, they were around for a long time.
My car well, my Jeep doesn't even have a CD player. It doesn't.
Now you don't even need it with your phone.
My God, I love it. Bluetooth, so great.
Okay.
So pop culture. So you mentioned cassette tapes.
Yes.
They also mentioned Peanuts comics.
I thought that was so cute.
I know.
That was adorable.
And-
Who doesn't love the Peanuts?
And who also doesn't love to read the comics on Sunday?
Oh, yes, for sure.
'Cause it was
I
the
thought that
morning
was
after
really
the party.
endearing. I really liked that comics part because every Sunday my dad used to buy the Detroit Free Press, and we would always read the comics and talk about which ones we liked the best. And, it was just like something you look forward to because there weren't comics like, there's not comics in, or the funnies as we call them.
Yes.
The funnies. It's not in the paper every day,
Or you would have, like, the Bay City Times would have them all, the black and white ones, and not all of them. Of course, there was always Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes, that
another
was a big
thing.
favorite.
And it was always above the fold. It would always be the first one until Bill Watterson ended up, like, retiring. And then I think for better or for worse, which was also really cute fun.
I'm looking at your hot meter list.
I know. They also mentioned Nintendo, which made me, like,
Yes.
Winston
Nintendo
talks about-
was new.
he was talking about my...
He talked about his Atari. Winston did. I'm gonna sit at home and play Atari. That's what he said.
I thought it was Nintendo.
He said Atari. I remember this because I had an Atari,
I-
and that really stuck out to me. Oh, did they change it to Nintendo? in
I
there?
wonder, because this is, like, 1983. I don't think NES was open because
No.
we got it in, like, 1988.
Here's the Peanuts reference. Okay, we need to dig
We
through
need
and
to-
find this.
This may be
Oh.
something that we may have to go on Facebook Live
Yes,
later on so we
for
can
sure.
actually look at it. Because I'm like, when did NES come
Yeah,
out?
that's funny. You have
This-
Nintendo.
Was it when they went on
Nintendo
there?
didn't come out until like 1985 or 6. I'm
was-
nearly positive.
Well, it was,
Or
I
was
think,
it-
later than that, like the 88, because I remember my mom says the only way you're getting that thing, yes, look it up. The
I'm
only way
looking it
you're
up.
getting that thing is if your grandma buys it for you. And so we asked grandma for it for Christmas, and grandma delivered. Oh, I loved
Okay,
it.
this says 1983.
Really? I'm trying to.
Well, this says 1980.
Oh, here's Winston. Yeah,
It
because a hot date with my Nintendo. No, nothing doing. Look on page 65.
Okay.
See
Oh
if it
yeah,
says-
mine does not say that. That is fascinating. Besides a hot date with my Atari.
Oh my gosh!
doing nothing.
They switched it.
Interesting.
Oh.
That makes me wonder what else they changed.
I know. Oh my gosh. Because, well, let's see. Playing with Fire, copyright 1983, Francine Pascal. But you would think that they would have another edition.
Yeah. Ooh, very interesting. Wow. Okay, if you go to Wikipedia, the history of Nintendo is very long. 1889.
Probably the name origin?
Yes.
Any sort of, like, games?
To produce handmade games. So it's been a gaming something for a long time. Obviously not electronic.
Okay,
but-
I was super excited. And also the droids, Star Wars reference. Like, because
Yes.
these are not the droids you're looking for.
I actually think that's a really good name for a band. I was thinking about that when I was reading this.
And then Bruce's personalized plate. That is still a thing these days.
Yes. One Bruce, one.
Because I know, actually, it's kind of funny. A couple of the kids that I know at school that have personalized plates, they drive Jeeps. Yeah. Allie and Hallie.
I was actually thinking
Not
about
twins.
90210 once again because I believe Steve has a personalized plate and it's something about, is it about Porsches? It might be.
My cousin had
Can't
one with her Camaro.
Yeah, I'm not a personalized plates person.
It was Suzanne, and then the E was a 3.
Tracy has a personalized plate. It's 906. Yes.
And just 906? She was able to get that?
Yep. Yeah, she's had it for years.
Wow. Way to
Yeah.
go, Tracy.
I know.
Hi,
Amazing.
Tracy. I'm sure does she watch this? She should.
I'm not sure.
She's
need
so
to-
nice.
I know she is. She's a really good human.
We love you,
We
Tracy.
love you, Tracy. If
Oh,
you're
should we
watching
say like hi to Kara again?
this. We should say hi. Hi, Kara.
Hi. Oh, we have decided that when they have a storyline about Kara Walker, you're going to be our guest. So we'll let you
Yes.
know. So we can have our real Kara there.
Yes.
It's like Lila and Jessica and Kara.
It can be from one Kara to another.
Could be a special edition for us.
Yes.
So it'll be very special. So she's been watching. She's catching up.
I think there were less pop culture references in this one, for sure. But the ones that they had, I think, were better
Yeah.
in here. Like, they were more natural. I don't know if it's just because
Yeah, it wasn't like a product placement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not like a Hallmark Channel product placement.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, so funny.
Like, here, let me take out my coffee cup.
I know.
Which is not sponsored, but again, Starbucks. Hey. Help girls out. Supply us with fresh coffee. Oh my gosh.
Oh. Yes.
So we have the Hot-O-Meter. Are we ready for the Hot-O-Meter?
Yes, I think we are.
Okay. So there weren't a lot of new guys.
No, not a lot of new guys.
But new developments with some of the guys. So Tony Conover or whatever it is, because they talk about what he looks like in that first chapter, second chapter, because they were talking about who's that guy over there. Where I was picturing Uncle Jesse.
Well, that makes it difficult.
I know. But here, let me see if I can find the description of him. But it's like, because it was right at the beginning.
Yeah, I do remember them talking about him at the dance.
Hey, Todd, do you know who that guy is? So he was, okay, so it's not exactly like Uncle Jesse, but they talked about his hair, which made me think of, like, who was obsessed with his hair?
Well, I'm thinking of, like, an Italian guy, you know?
I know. Yeah, with the name of Tony. And so, Jessica was an eye-catching outfit, blah, blah, blah. She pointed to a tall, lanky man in his early 20s standing at the back of the gym near the bleachers. He was dressed in sleek, black leather pants and a partly unbuttoned white cotton shirt, which, hello, Uncle Jesse. He was staring intently at the stage and seemed absorbed in the music. His eyes never left the stage. But again, I was thinking, like, because Uncle Jesse was also into music. I'm just watching season 4 of Fuller House before Netflix wasn't working for me. So, of course.
Well, I won't spoil anything. I've watched them all.
Good to know.
Okay.
Who doesn't love Uncle Jesse, though?
It's true. He is pretty great.
So, going with...
And he loves Disney. He has like a massive... He has a Dumbo... One of the Dumbo car things in his house.
For his kids, right? And he never ages. He's like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
What magic do you guys know?
So if Leonardo DiCaprio or Uncle Jesse / John Stamos would like to be on our show,
please,
you're very welcome.
You're more than welcome to come to Michigan. We have some really cute little coffee shops, so not just Starbucks.
Yes.
We should sponsor one of these days, like have Populous or
that would be fun.
Parlous and Hugh, and we'll tag them in it.
Yes, we should.
Because I think we got a lot of local people watching us.
For sure.
It's mostly people we know. Actually,
and that's the thing about, I always say this is so off topic. People in Michigan love people in Michigan. Like, Michiganders are all about supporting Michigan people.
And for those of you that think it's Michiganians,
it's not. It's Michigander.
It's Michiganders. I remember there was that whole entire trend that they were getting away from it.
It's Michigander.
It's Michiganders. Actually, I remember Jody and Tracy from Grocery Girls, like, what do they call them there? And it's like, so if you're watching, Michiganders, so you can say it, because they love Michigan too.
Well,
who doesn't?
It is a pretty great state.
It is.
Okay, Tony.
And mine is only
she
from...
likes Bad Boys.
I do, and also like the Uncle Jesse thing. Like, I can't get that vision out of my head. But his personality is so not Uncle Jesse.
I can't get over the fact that he's at a high school dance prowling around for girls.
Ugh.
Yeah, no.
That's why he doesn't get
That's
more
why he
stars.
gets an ice cube from me. He gets an ice cube. Do not go out with Tony. Do not let your next boyfriend be Tony.
I won't, because I'm way too old for him. I'm like almost 30 years too old for him. Yeah, holy shit, I am 30 years older than him. Than what he wants. No, 20 years. 20 years.
Yes.
I need to do the math.
I was like, 30
I mean,
years?
old.
What are you talking about?
Does he like 8-year-olds? Maybe.
God. No.
All right, in this one, Winston is the next one.
Oh, Winston.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready? And go. Wow! I
I could not get past
how
Winston.
mean he was to
Winston
Robin.
saying that around Robin.
Mm-hmm. I think I've kept Winston pretty steady at 3s, though, haven't I?
I feel like you might have given him a 2. I love Winston, but that whole part just doesn't seem like Winston to me. If he hadn't said that, he'd still be a 3. He's a 2.5. I'm still a Winston fan.
And there's nothing wrong with Winston. I don't think we've seen enough of his depth yet.
He hasn't matured.
And I think with this, we saw a little bit more, like, he's not always the goofball. Like, he has
a serious side.
I feel he got his feelings really hurt.
Winston
with
is
that
like
one.
your perfect guy. He would be a good guy for you.
I know.
Winston, where are you? Waiting for your Winston. Oh, God. Don't do that. That was the look from Bridesmaids where they communicate with only a look.
That's us. I'm Annie.
In case you haven't noticed.
I'm Annie.
Okay.
All right,
Bruce.
Bruce is the next one. Okay. Ready? Go. Good. I'm glad you dropped your Bruce.
Well,
Bruce
yeah,
rating.
he was a complete douchebag here.
And this is where I'm going to
He wasn't
say it.
He wasn't a mystery man anymore.
No. He was a fucker. Okay? There. I dropped the F-bomb.
Yes, he was.
I'm saving it for a good reason.
Yeah. Well, he deserves it. He was getting very
Aggressive.
aggressive,
Possessive.
and psychotic, and just the worst type of guy. There's a lot of bad dudes in this series. Oh my gosh. But I mean, I guess to their credit, Liz stays with the nice guy, and Jessica's still leaving those douchebags in the dust. So
Yeah. I mean, she did have the final say at the end. So, then we have Todd. Where am I? Okay. Ready? Go.
I love Todd.
I know.
I can't help it.
Because you're married to one.
I know. Todd is just a good guy. He goes on that long drive and he asks.
I think I've kept Todd pretty steady. Or he may have gone up one with this one because of that. Like, he's calm, cool, collected, but he's also...
The fact that he's driving around saying, I just want to see if Saturn and Jupiter are in the sky. Okay, that is totally something Alan would do. We have done that before with our eclipse glasses. On a very long trip, we stopped to watch the eclipse with our glasses. Anyway, he's just like making up all this stuff to try to, help Jessica, and he's helping Liz. So I just love Todd.
He's pretty steady.
He's a good human.
Yeah.
Yeah, there weren't many guys in here.
No. All right, so with Jess versus Liz, like, I keep thinking of, like, what are some ways that we could have good discussions about it? So I was thinking, obviously, the biggest plot is obviously her relationship with Bruce.
Yes.
But I was thinking of also how Liz came in to play. And so I figured if we go, like, at the beginning of the relationship, at the middle of their
Interesting.
relationship, and at the end of their relationship, who handled situations better, Jess or Liz? Because Jess has an obligation to help her sister, but she's caught in kind of a tough spot. So for the very beginning of their relationship, those first few days, who handled that burgeoning relationship better? So Jess or Liz?
Ready?
Yep, go.
Interesting. Well, I say Liz because in the beginning, Liz was worried, but she also just let Jessica be. She let her do her thing, and she was like, okay, maybe it's too early. She did interfere the one time. But I think for the most part in the beginning, Liz was kind of like, okay, not getting involved.
And she did it for the right reasons. I mean,
Yes.
she really did.
This was a tough one, though, because once again,
Jess, like, it's a new relationship.
Yeah.
And you should kind of, like, see your chemistry, your connection. And she did handle Bruce very well at the
Yes,
beginning.
she did.
And she didn't lose herself yet. She was still keeping, like, her own weird moral compass intact. I mean, it usually goes like this a lot of the time, or spins around. But, you know, she was remaining true to herself. And you have to, I feel like you almost have to date a bad boy once. Or if you're, in my case, like 8 times. Sorry, Mom, I haven't learned.
Mom, if you're watching this, which I told her about this yesterday, I don't like bad boys.
No.
But she does. She married one.
Oh,
My dad.
joy.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But your dad's like the best
He's
bad
a
boy
giant,
then.
I know, he's like a giant teddy bear.
He's such a sweet person,
Oh, he's so funny.
which I still use on a daily basis. The little
Aww.
step stool that he made
No,
for
I
me.
use mine all the time.
And I love the custom made
Isn't it handy?
printer thing. It's like perfect for both of my printers. It's just, and I need him to make an extension for my metal rack. He's made a lot of stuff for even me.
Mm-hmm. My
Which is
dad's
really
a woodworker.
sweet.
He's very talented.
Oh my gosh, so good. All right, so the middle of the relationship, who handles it better?
Oh.
And this is really tough.
Oh, I'm so torn. Okay.
Ready? Go. Oh, wait, no. No, yeah, Liz. I'm like, oh, I flipped it the wrong way. It's Liz.
It's Liz.
She
knows it's bad.
and she's not giving up, and it's not just because she lost herself. She lost
did.
who she was.
She completely lost who she was.
and Liz is
to the
holding
extreme.
on to that for her.
And very quickly, which is kind
Yes.
of not good. Not a good foreshadowing for the future. So yeah, Liz was like, nope, this is not Jessica. I don't like this. Bruce is controlling you.
And she knows, but she also knows her sister so well that she knows she almost has to trick her. And
Yes,
you really do.
I
like,
know.
When you have your friends in those situations, you do have to kind of let them be. Otherwise, it's kind of like a parent saying,
Yeah.
you know, if we tell you not to date someone or not to
gonna
do
do
something,
it.
you're going to do it anyway. So we're like my mom's like, I prayed to Jesus for 2 straight years in high school for you. Like, well, your prayers worked. Thank you, Jesus.
That's funny.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not in high school anymore.
I know.
That is something I think about a lot reading these.
I know. So then the end of their relationship.
Oh, this is tough.
It is a tough one.
This is really tough. Oh, man. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Could go either way.
I know. This might be a tie, actually.
I know. All right, ready? And go.
I mean, she has the last laugh.
She does.
She humiliates Bruce in front of everybody.
Like, Liz helped.
But
Liz got it started.
Thanks to Liz.
But, yeah, and that's why it's just like,
Yeah.
but
Liz set the plan in motion. Jessica snapped out of it.
she had, like, Liz had to wait for the perfect moment. And it came to her.
Yes,
Like,
it did.
because she knew something was up already because he was already ghosting her. But yeah, Jess has the last word finally in a book. Like
Yeah.
the last 2 books, it's always Liz having the last word, and now like they kind of work together
Yes, we should read the last paragraph.
to get it ready. So again, it's talking about
Well, the end is about Robin.
yeah,
Yes.
Robin coming in and
I'm gonna
asking.
read the last sentence with Jessica and Bruce.
Oh yeah,
But Elizabeth had underestimated her twin. Jessica wasn't in shock at all. The fog she had been enveloped.
enveloped. Yeah,
Yes, enveloped. By had simply lifted, and she was now standing there looking for the first time at the real Bruce Patman. As a sly smile slowly stole over her face, she mapped out the stages of her revenge. The old Jessica was back, and Bruce Patman was finally going to see her in action.
and that led to her
Yes.
confrontation at Guido's.
Yes. So Jessica throws everything at Bruce. But then we have this transition into Robin. Okay. More times than she could remember, Jessica told her how the chubby girl did not fit in with the sleek PBA image. We are back to the old Jessica.
Yep. So unfortunately, when she snapped out of it, I mean, it's all or nothing with Jess.
Yeah,
right
it is.
now.
It really is. I think I'll be at that meeting after all, she told Robin. This is Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be there to pick up the pieces if Jessica let down her friend. She'd nominate Robin for membership, and there would be nothing Jessica could do to stop her. It would probably throw the club and Jessica into an absolute uproar. But they all deserved the pressure, Elizabeth told herself, not realizing the chaos she was about to create. This is interesting because, I mean, the whole first book is all about this,
Sorority.
I almost said peanut butter. Peanut butter and...
Beta. Alpha.
Peanut butter. Okay, so Pi Beta, yes. But Elizabeth isn't really involved in it, is she? So why is she in it? Maybe to get into college, it'll look good.
Well, also because Jess kind of pressure her,
Yes.
and it's almost like a package deal. Like, you have to have both
I guess.
of these girls. But yeah, like, if you're thinking, I would probably say, yeah, it'd look really great on
Yeah, it would
her
look good.
resume and
I guess.
transcripts.
So, yeah. We'll see what happens. Well, you already know what happens with Robin. So
It's a good one. I was, like,
where-
super excited.
Where is that book? Here it is.
Right here. Power play.
So we have both twins against each other. Look at those feathery haircuts. Wow, very wispy. You know, they refer to Jessica's hair as being very thick. I don't think it looks that thick.
No. Oh my gosh, Melissa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's a spider. Wow. Here, I'll get it for you. Don't worry. Came into our... Oh my gosh. People actually saw that. We're keeping that in there. Well,
Oh
I
my
kept seeing
God.
spiders along the
I
side.
was watching them.
That one, like, that was a sneak attack. It's good. It's good. It's on the bottom of my shoe. So, you're welcome.
There's
What a way to end.
surprise at the end.
Oh my gosh. We have to.
Please, like, cut that out so we can post that on Instagram.
I'll see what I can do.
Put it in slow motion. Oh, God.
Oh my
No.
gosh, that's so hilarious.
I ran so fast.
Yeah, as you should. I was actually going
I'm
to
very
get the one that was
swift.
over there, and I was going to, like...
I don't want to be out here anymore.
Okay. I know, we're so close.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my heart is racing.
I'm sorry.
I'm petrified of spiders. They are so scary.
I took care of it for you.
Oh, that spider
And those are
was
the really...
Bruce Patman.
Yes, it was. And I was Jessica.
You were. Mm-hmm. You killed it.
Stamp that out.
Oh my God.
I have an arrangement with the creatures around this place. It's like, don't get into my business.
I feel like I have bugs crawling all over me.
I know.
Ew.
We'll go inside soon.
That was a power play.
It was. The bug thought he was gonna win.
He did not. He's dead.
He is dead. Like
Very
you can see,
dead.
like you can see where his juices
Guts
were.
are somewhere.
Yeah.
Under there.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, right.
Oh yep. There's his guts.
And also
Spider
at the bottom of my shoe. Oh yeah. He's like in.
You have some whoppers around here.
They are. They're. I guess they're supposedly garden
Well, they're disgusting.
spiders, but.
I hate.
And like I said, I tell them, you enter my house or you get into my space, you're going to die. It's kind of like...
That's what Jessica should have said to Bruce.
Yeah, they had enough trigger things. Didn't they say something about, like, the cop and the chokehold, too?
Yeah.
And calling Jessica his
That's
slave?
on page 22. They said Bruce said some really horrible things in
Yeah.
here. Yes.
I forgot
This
about
is
that.
the part about the... But he wasn't buying. This is when Bruce bribes the cop, or tries to. Give me your license and registration. He was really barking at me, you know. The guy was mean, the type who'd put you in a chokehold without blinking an eye. And then they do, yeah. So...
Like, it's bad anyways, but especially...
It's definitely different reading it
now.
now. Yeah. Yeah, it is bad. It's just...
Ugh. And then also calling Jessica Bruce's slave.
Yes, that was just horrible. I'm just watching that spider over there.
I know. Do you want me to kill it for you?
No,
Here,
he's
I'll
not
kill
near
it.
us.
I'll kill it because
So yeah,
he's-
there were some very what would now be very controversial.
Oh yeah, there we go.
controversial things in this book.
I cannot wait to hear
Good
the
job.
sound effects from this one.
Sliding down the spider. I screamed at the spider. So, yeah, very, I think this would be very dated based on some of the
Yes.
stuff that was in it.
And
It's just
then-
interesting to see how society has evolved.
Yeah. In the next one, too, I was seeing a whole bunch of
Yes, I'll get
things. And
Wait
the
till we
post-it
do
note is in there already for her because Jessica uses the number 37. I found 7 times, but there may be at least one more. So I
Yeah.
can't wait for her to find
It's like
them.
50 Shades of Grey. They use the same word over and over again.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
I
on
think that's
that
it.
note, I
Yeah.
think that's all we have. Gosh. What a
Until next
dramatic
week.
ending.
I know.
Okay, I want to go in and have bugs on.
Okay, yep, let's go.
Okay.
All right, bye. It's not going.
Oh, it just won't quit.
It won't end.